brought you out time after time. One problem arises and you find yourself complaining. You find yourself messed up. Now you want to complain and forget about what all that God has done for you. But he said, I told him, I said, son, what is that you have in your hand? And he said, God, is this rod. He said, I tell you what, he said, stretch out your hand.
Stretch it out.
He said, as he stretched out the hand, he said, I parted the Red Sea.
Come on now.
He said, I allowed the east wind to come through and part the Red Sea. He said, then my people walked over on dry ground. Amen. He said, as they got to the other side, he said, Pharaoh had the audacity to follow my people over. And when he followed my people over, he said, and I told Moses, I said, turn around, look at them. And Moses said, yeah, Lord, what is it that you need me to do? He said, son, I tell you what, just put down your hand. Amen. As he put down his hand, and the water, he said, the east wind rose up and exited in the west. He said, and the water came in on their head. And I said, Lord, what happened after then? He said, you know what I did, son? I said, well, Lord, he said, I drowned. I said, I got you, God. I got you. I said, I got you, Lord. I know exactly what you did. He said, I drowned. He said, but son, he said, so you won't get an understanding. It wasn't by a flood this time. Because when Noah came off the ark, he said, I showed Noah a rainbow. Yes, he did. And he said, next time I deal with these folks, it won't be by rain, but it'll be fire next time. Yeah. It won't be by rain, but it'll be by fire next time. Yeah. And then I said, Lord, I understand. I said, now I'm starting to understand what you're talking about now. He said, but your heart is still troubled. I said, yes, sir, it is. I said, it's still trouble. He said, well, let me just tell you, down 42 generations, things had got worse. Things had got bad. He said, and I just knew that this time, that the deliverance that was going to have to take place is I was going to have to make the ultimate sacrifice. And I found myself, I said, now I'm beginning to understand. Because what I'm hurting for is because I made time sacrifices after time. I found myself giving up this for that. I found myself sacrificing this for that. Amen. In order for your people to be happy, God, I found myself putting my family and myself on the back burner just so your people can be happy. Now you're starting to touch me, Lord. I know where you're going. I know what it is to make sacrifice. I know how it is. Now we're talking. He said, all right, son, before, just let me finish. He said, I seen a group of people that was in trouble. He said, so I made the ultimate sacrifice. He said, I allowed my son to come and walk 33 years. Yes, he did. Amen. 33 years. Perform miracle after miracle. Perform signs and wonders. Preaching the word. Amen. And he said, then to solidify, when he got baptized, he said, it ain't like the people didn't know who he was. But when they went down there to get baptized, and John got ready to baptize, he said, just so that the folks would know what I was doing, he said, I allowed a dove to ascend from heaven and land on his shoulder. And I opened up the heavens and I declared and told the people that this is my beloved son, in whom I'm well pleased. Hear ye him? And I said, Lord, I remember. He said, but then there came a day that they came and got my son. And right where I found man at and placed him in the beginning, they came and got my son from the garden. Amen. He was in the garden of Gethsemane. Amen. He was in the garden and he knew what he was facing. He said, and it was hard because it was a sacrifice that I didn't want to make. And it was a sacrifice that in the flesh he didn't really want to make. He said, well, but because I love the people that I created, he said the sacrifice had to be made. He said, because I found out that if I don't do it, won't nobody else do it. I said, yes, Lord, I'm starting to understand a little better now. if I don't do these things that I do, it's in this ministry that you're assigned to my hand. There ain't nobody else gonna do your people or do for your people like I would do. Amen. So he said right then when he got ready to not go, we was talking and he told me, he said, well, Dad, I tell you what, know what we have to do. But he said, but if you could let this cup be removed from me.
Come on.
He said, just let it go.
Let it go.
But then he knew what the love I had in my heart.
Come on.
For those people.
Yeah.
Because you see, me and my son, we're one.
Yeah.
Amen. Come on. And he turned around and said, well, Dad, I tell you what, nevertheless, let your will be done. Amen. And I found them coming in the garden and getting my son out of the garden. And they took him, they beat him, they spit on him. Y'all know the story.
Come on.
They spit on him. They talked about him. Put a crown on his head, crown of thorns. Amen. They beat him, they drugged him, they talked about him. Didn't nobody want to deal with him. They exchanged him for a murderer. Amen. They exchanged him for the thieves. They put him up there with him, and as if my son was a criminal. But what he was doing, he was trying to bring my people back because I loved them enough to send my only begotten son to a dying world. All I had to do is say, be no more, and the world would have ceased to exist. He said, but because I love him so, I sent my son. He said, you talking about heart trouble. Yeah. I said, God, I feel you. I said, I understand you. I can see eye to eye with you now. I see eye to eye with you now. I feel you, God. Lord, I understand now why I do the things that I do. Yes, I understand why I go and sacrifice as much as I sacrifice. Yes, I feel you now, God. We all want to come. I see why I do the people and treat the people and go after the people like I do. Oh, yes. You done took that same love that you have and you said, let it be in me. Now I see why I'm running around here doing the things that I do. But my heart was hurt. And God began to